Hello and welcome to Paints and Sinners. Today we have Chaos Knights. I've already done a video on painting the horses, which came out like this. You can watch that video if you want to. If you don't want to watch that, then I suggest you don't. But this video is about the riders of the horses and the shields and the banner. I was thinking to have a black banner first, but I've kind of changed my mind. Because the what do you call the thing that the thing that hangs on the horses, the cloth, it's painted that purple, as you can see here, and I figured maybe the banner should be purple as well. It could be a thing. Yeah, I guess it's not much to say. I've painted one of the riders already. He is not shadowed or fixed in any way. Same thing goes for the horse, but it's something like that the rest of them will look, I think. Something like this. I think I'm gonna make the boots a little bit darker because I'm not too happy with that light brown. I think it should be dark brown instead. Yeah, that could very well be. And also I figured I'll redo the bases. I'm not really happy with that. The other horses have a slightly different base. It's not perfect. And while we might not be searching for perfection, I search for something that looks good. So I might use something else. That's another question. We'll have to see. And the shields, of course. Did I say the shields? They are there. We'll paint them as well. And I guess I'll choose one of these guys that you will follow. The rest will be painted, of course, as well. Who should we choose? I was thinking about this guy with the weird sword. He's kind of cool, isn't he? I think so. So we'll start off and you'll see how we hopefully progress during the painting process. So starting off with the boots, I decided to start trying out Tooth & Coat's Ancient Forest. That might work. I'm not sure, but we'll have to try before we know. And I guess I'll use a smaller brush for this. Okay, so these guys have a lot of gold trims, detail stuff going on. I'm not sure exactly what I should paint as gold and not, but there will for surely be some details. I'll keep on painting this guy with the sword in picture. The gold color I'm going to use is Rich Gold from Pro Acryl. I was thinking I'm going to keep it like this. His horns are smooth. There are no rifles in them, but a guy like this, I'll paint them like bone. I know I painted the first one as gold variations, but this one will be gold. So let's call him Goldfinger. Maybe it's so wrong. Please don't mess up James Bond with the Chaos Hordes. James Bond is not an agent of chaos. Trying to keep the Mini in the center of the camera view. That makes everything so much easier. Now it starts raining. Yeah, that's what you get. That is what you get. So this is this guy with all the gold painted. It's time consuming, you could say. And I did some misses, but gonna be some touching up, of course, but that's always the case, I think. Here we go. Most of the gold painted on the Chaos Knights. I just realized I missed some details here on his hillabard. Maybe I should do that as well before I turn off the lights for tonight, because now I'm really getting tired. I also found the second swordsman on the floor, so that's why his boots are not painted. But I got the gold down. I'll have to bring out the brown again. Yeah, I'm not sure if all details that should be gold are gold, like for example the skull on his chest. That should possibly be gold as well. I mean, we have some small details like that. Then some of the details that are not painted should be with some metal color. I think I'll be using Pro Acryl Dark Silver, because that's nice as well. Really, Chaos Knights, you are so fancy. Maybe you should just spray them matte black and then add some rust effect on it. And that's it. No, of course not. So it's time to paint some metal. I'm going with the same guy that I've been showing before. And I'm gonna try Tooth & Coat's plate armor. I think I used the dark silver for the first one. But I wanted to give this a try. Maybe it's a little bit too bright. But yeah, it should be good. I hope so. Now that I poured it out, it doesn't look too bright. But you'll never know until you tried it, I guess. This will work quite nicely, especially with the black undercoating. It'll be a bit darker perhaps. So I think we'll go with this. I think we'll stick with 2 thin coats. Look at that. I think it's looking good so far. So, as you can see, I am slowly getting there. I have 2.5 Chaos Knights left. Lots of details to paint up. And I'm sure as hell are doing misses. So I'll need some touching up with both black and brown afterwards. But that's okay, that's just how it goes. Here we go. As you can see, what have I done? I have gone over them twice with the plate armor for the metal parts. Some parts of the armor is painted in plate armor as well. I'm not sure if that's right. Some maybe should claim that they should be all gold. I don't know. I think it looks a little bit more raw when you have metal than gold. Gold is a bit squimpish, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm thinking for all the bone parts, skulls and horns, I'm gonna start off with Skeleton Legion, and then we have 2 more variations, Vampire Fang and Ivory Tusk, that we can highlight them with. But I'm gonna start with Skeleton Legion and we'll see how that looks. I know some skulls I've painted in metal when I thought they were really small and more like decorations, but there are some slightly larger that I will paint as bone, as real skulls. So yeah. So starting off with Skeleton Legion. Not sure how well I have some problems with some of the black paint. I'm not sure if this is perhaps Pro Acryl, slightly hydrophobic as they say. It turns away other paints. I love Pro Acryl, but that problem is mildly irritating, you could say. You can see it doesn't really want to cover, but of course it's not a very good covering color as it might be as well, maybe. But I think it's a good base for bone. Okay, so I've done some touch up. I have done a second layer of skeleton horde on the bone parts, like you can see on this mini. And I've fixed some other misses and stuff. There are still some misses to fix, but it's coming. So one thing that I thought was kind of, I'm not sure, maybe it's interesting, maybe not. You can see that on some of these guys I've painted the handles of the weapons brighter because they were black before. Then I figured it's always some fuss about how much the underlying paint will affect the paint that you apply on top, so to speak. And this is a prime example actually. I've painted his handle firstly with Vampire Fang, like I showed you on this one here. And here's one where I didn't paint it, so it's black from the beginning. And it's quite a big difference. It's one layer on both of them. Right? You can see it's a lot brighter with the white Fang undercoat than the black undercoat. Alright, so now we have 2 layers down and it's still quite a big difference, I would say. I hope I can zoom in so you see this thoroughly. So now I'm gonna paint whatever you call these that they place the foots on in when riding. Gallops. I'm sure it's not called gallops. Maybe I'll print it on screen as I'm recording, but I'm gonna use Vallejo Saddle Brown because of the name, and it's a nice brown color, so I guess that'll work. I use the same for the saddles and stuff. I'm gonna shade this, of course, as well, probably with Agrax shade, I would guess. So it's really a small detail that does a lot. I'm not sure, but you need to paint it. We can't keep it black. How would that look? Chaotic, maybe. Been thinking about this a lot. I have all these wonderful decorated shields for the Chaos Knights that I need to start working on, I guess. But the first thing I will do with these shields is to fix what? The black. You can see, I'm not sure if I missed this when I painted them the first time. It could have been that the base color was somewhat hydrophobic, I think the name is, or if I'm just missed, but I think maybe a combination of both. I don't know. And we have the beautiful banner as well. Where to start? I don't know. I think what I will do is pour some silver or plate armor from 2 thin coats, which was the one I used. And then I used the wonderful Dragon's Gold from 2 thin coats. These are really good solid metal colors if you're looking for that. I really like them. Still quite some left in these bottles, so but once they are gone, I think I will order some more. Actually, I did order some more colors. Maybe I'll do an unboxing video because that package should come this week, I guess. We'll just have to see. Is that interesting to see what colors I've ordered? Maybe it is. I don't know. But for a small, tiny, useless channel like mine, you gotta have content. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go through with these 2 colors on the Chaos Knights. Maybe I should do something on the shields as well. I've been watching the... Oh, I'm not sure if this will come through very good here, but I watched what they have done here. There's a lot of gold and silver on the shields as well. So, yeah, I think I'll need to address this. Maybe I should do the... No, I shouldn't. I don't know. No, I'm not sure which order I'm going to do everything. I don't know. So, as you can see, I've fixed a lot of details on the Chaos Knights. Gold is still to be fixed, so it's mainly plate armor color that I've been adding up. Also started painting the shield somewhat. Is that visible? I'll have to zoom, I guess. So I was thinking, well, I'll be using 2 thin coats, plate armor and Dragon's Gold, excellent colors. And I thought a couple of shields that are the same, like these 2, that should be visible in the view of the camera. So I figured I made those 2 with plate armor color. Plate armor seems odd to say, but I'll do the other 2 in Dragon's Gold, and then there are some other details. I'll switch them around so they look slightly different. This time we'll start with gold. And I'm going for this one. So this will be kind of opposite of the other shield that looks the same, that is the same design, or whatever you say. So it'll be gold. I love these metal colors. They are really good. Doing free commercials for nothing. That's me. It's time for one more round of Sanguine Scarlet, and the main part that's painted with that is the banner. I think we'll need at least one more layer before we can call this good. Yeah, because you want that really good coverage, deep nice red color, and then maybe some highlights. Okay, this is the progress so far. The knights are almost done. What I need are some washes and highlights. And I'm struggling with the shield. So many details on the shield. You can see I've tried to make them slightly different, even if it's the same shield, inverted colors. And I mean, these shields up until here, these ones, are almost ready. They need some highlights, some washes, what do you say? And they are good to go. Maybe I need to fill in the black in some small parts. Now I'm going to try some highlighting. I'm going to use Pro Acryl Silver Metallic, and this time I'm going to try to make sure that my brush is not overloaded, because that is very typical of me to do. I've done it many times before, and I probably will do it again. This is a new brush that I just got. It was a set of dry brushes from Army Painter. Masterclass miniature dry brush. Quite soft actually, and I guess that might be a good thing. And I'm gonna start with one of the shields. I was thinking about this one. Just wanna touch up the edges of the shield here to start with. They're quite small to hold on to. You don't want to overdo it, but you want it to look like they have been around the bend, as they say. I'm now done with the dry brushing. I think it came out quite good for being me, you could say. You can see I have tried to emulate some wear and tear damages besides highlights on the gold and silver. We can have a look at this one. And for the knights, we can have a look at this one of the leaders, for example. I've tried to do it somewhat randomly and a different amount of dry brushing on them, so no one looks the same. And I think I've been quite restrictive, not doing too much. Alright, so now I've done lots of fixes on both the shields and the Chaos Knights, and I was thinking I'm going to try to highlight the boots with this Dwarven skin. Seems a bit perverse or bizarre, maybe is the better word, but I think it can go well, because I mean the boots are made of skin and this is Dwarven skin, so you wouldn't be surprised when it comes to Chaos Knights, right? So we'll give it a try on one of the boots. I'm gonna wash them as well, but I'm gonna do the highlight first. So let's see how this looks. So my thought here is that you shouldn't overdo it, right? This isn't the best guide to do any highlighting at all, but we'll try it. I'm gonna have some highlights on the saddle as well, even if it's not the same brown. It might work. I'm hoping so anyway. So you want to do some very fine, like that. Now it doesn't have to be very much at all. And for the saddle I was thinking maybe even kind of edge highlight. It can be uneven like this. I think some of it will be eaten off the... covered maybe is a better word, of the wash afterwards. I think that's too much paint. Don't want a big blob somewhere. I think this can work. I'm gonna do this on all the Chaos guys. And then maybe it's time for... almost time for washing, and almost done finally with all these Chaos Knights. So it's time to move on, and I was thinking I'm gonna do some dry brushing on the bone parts. I originally painted them with Skeleton Legion from Two Thin Coats, and I was thinking that a light dry brush of Vampire Fang could do it. It's a bit light, but I think it can work. Maybe this can work with a very light. I think it's a little bit too much. A very light hand. I'm gonna wash it as well, so it's not a disaster. Plan to do some highlights on the banner. This is pure red from Warpaint Fanatic Army Painter. Could this be too red for that one? I'm not sure. I think it's time for washing. And one of the washes I'm going to use is Nuln Oil. Another wash is Reikland Fleshshade. That was really hard to say, apparently. And then I would like to have Agrax Earthshade as well. But I don't know where that is currently. So I'm gonna have to go and find it, and then we'll start shading. And then we are almost finished. Finally. So, out of these 3 shades, I'm gonna start with Nuln Oil. I found this. It's not... it's more used than the previous one that I showed you, that I hope is still in the video. So I'm gonna start with this one. We'll do 1 shield and 1 Chaos Knight, and you can see what I do with it. If I just could find a pencil. I don't need a pencil, I need a brush. Anyway, we'll start with this goatee, or whatever you want to call him. Let's move that. Let's see. I mean, this isn't rocket science. I'm not sure if you can, if it's even possible to fail with Nuln Oil. It just makes things so good and so nice and so fantastically Nulnish. Look at that. Looks fantastic already. No, please don't. I'm so clumsy. Now we need a Chaos Knight. We'll take this one. And what I'll do first off is weapon. Now we have the greaves. I hate it when it kind of turns to bubbles, because that's not what you want at all. And some more, thank you. Next shade up is Reikland Fleshshade. I managed to say it this time. And we're going to use this on the gold parts. Last shade I plan to use is Agrax Earthshade. My thought was that pre-highlighting should mean I didn't need to highlight again. I hope that is true. We'll just have to see like what it looks like once it's dried. Time to what? Apply a decal on the banner. As you can see, I have not glued on the shields on the Chaos Knights yet. Here is the banner as it looks right now. You got this sheet with the Chaos Knights. Should be this way. Lots of decals, considering that there isn't that much space to put them. But I guess it's your... I guess you could apply some decals, perhaps on the armor somewhere. Maybe something small, maybe I will. Haven't even thought about that. On the shoulder pads could be nice. On the ones who can, like this one, could have a small marking. That's an excellent idea. But the only one that I'll show in the video is this one. So here we go. Taking some of that on the surface. I'm guessing it's gonna go on something like that. Will it slide off now? Yes, 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 please take it easy. And I want to do this No, it sticks. It shouldn't stick like that. Well, maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe that's a good thing, because the banner is kind of blowing that direction, right? And it's a little bit folded out, so well, you know. I'll just take some of this directly onto the brush. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. On the brush like that, and then apply it on top of this one. I figured the bone on some of the minis, it got a little bit too dark. Can it be too dark when it comes to Chaos Knights? I don't know. But I'm going to try to just dry brush it very finely if I can, to lure out some brightness. I don't think it has to be that much. As you can see, I have super glued the shields on all the Chaos Knights, and they are getting ready to mount, I would say. But first I'm gonna do something about the horses' bases. I'm just looking at this one, because this is dry now. I think I'll need to take some matte varnish. I'm gonna use this, Scrublands. I think this can work fine for these bases. We can start with this one. I guess it's gluing time. Gluing time. The time that we all look forward to so much. How much glue should I use? I have no idea. I usually overdo it a little bit at least. That might work. I have a cheap shiner brush, so I can spread it out across the base. Anyway, now I'm gonna go through all the 10 horses and do this process, and then you'll see what it looks like, I guess. One thing that is slightly annoying is that when you use these basing materials, the rim of the base will become dusty and it's sticky. So you'll need to repaint the rim like I've done on this one. But I just remembered before I start doing this with all the 10 horses, it's a tedious, boring job that goes quite quickly. We need matte varnish on some of the riders for, in this case, the Chaos Circle or whatever it's called. So yeah, let's do that. Here we have 4 of the Chaos Knights ready and done for the tabletop, of course. I hope my camera zooms in correctly this time. I've had some problems with that before, but I think it's okay. You'll soon see all of them, and I will stop talking because this is the end of the video. Anyway, I hope you liked this little project. They were fun to paint, but it took a lot of time to paint them all 10 of them. It's not that extremely many, but it's many enough, I would say. Anyway, with that said, hope you liked the video. If you do, feel free to subscribe. That'll give me the support I need to continue to do some more videos, because that's fun. That's all there is to it. Anyway, have a look at the remaining pictures or videos of the Chaos Knights. And as I said, hope you like them, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Of course, until then, take care and paint well. Yeah, bye bye.